The bridge of the Galactic Council's flagship buzzed with nervous energy as Admiral Vex studied the tactical display. The human vessel approached their formation with the grace of a dying comet, its hull scarred and engines sputtering. Around him, his bridge crew exchanged amused glances. "Sir, the human ship is requesting permission to join our fleet," Communications Officer Tall reported, barely suppressing a chuckle. "They claim to have valuable intelligence about the Dominion's next move." Vex's scaled fingers drummed against his command chair. The humans had been members of the Galactic Council for barely a decade, their technology primitive compared to the sleek vessels of the established races. Their ships were slow, their weapons outdated, and their tactical knowledge laughably basic. Grant them permission, Vex decided, but keep them at the rear. We can't have them slowing down our advance. The human warship, designated the USS Persistence, limped into formation behind the main battle group. Its captain, a grizzled man named Blake, had earned a reputation for stubborn determination rather than tactical brilliance. His crew of 200 humans operated systems that the other races had abandoned centuries ago. "Admiral," Blake's voice crackled through the communication channel, "we've detected unusual energy signatures from the Dominion fleet. They're not using conventional weapons." Vex's aide, a tall being with 6 arms, leaned forward. "Humans always think they've discovered something new. Their sensors are probably malfunctioning." The fleet pressed forward toward the contested system of Kepler 442, where the Dominion had established a foothold. Intelligence suggested the enemy had deployed their newest dreadnoughts, massive vessels capable of devastating entire planetary surfaces. A council fleet consisted of 50 of their finest ships, each equipped with plasma cannons and energy shields that could deflect most known weapons. As they approached the system's outer rim, the enemy fleet came into view. The Dominion ships were larger than expected, their dark hulls bristling with unknown weapons. Vex felt a chill run down his spine. "All ships, prepare for engagement," he commanded. "Maintain formation and target their command vessels." The battle began with a thunderous exchange of plasma fire. The Council ships moved with precision, their advanced engines allowing them to dance around the slower Dominion vessels. But something was wrong. The enemy weapons were different, firing beams of pure energy that seemed to ignore their shields entirely. Within minutes, 3 Council ships were destroyed, their crews vaporized before they could even send distress signals. The remaining vessels scattered, their formation breaking apart as panic spread through the fleet. "All ships, retreat to secondary positions," Vex ordered, his voice strained. "We need to reassess the situation." The USS Persistence, however, did not retreat. Instead, it moved forward, its ancient engines straining against the cosmic forces. Blake's voice cut through the chaos on the communication channel. "Admiral, we're going to need 15 minutes to charge our main weapon. Can you keep them distracted?" Vex stared at the display in disbelief. "Captain Blake, your ship is not equipped for direct engagement. Fall back immediately." "Negative, sir. Trust us on this one." The Dominion fleet, emboldened by their success, pressed their advantage. Their energy weapons carved through space, seeking out the remaining Council vessels. The USS Persistence became their primary target, its slow movement making it an easy mark. But the human ship did something unexpected. Instead of trying to evade the incoming fire, it absorbed it. The energy beams struck its hull and seemed to disappear, as if the ship were drinking them in. The Dominion commanders, confused by this development, concentrated their fire on the human vessel. Blake's crew worked frantically in the bowels of their ship, rerouting power through systems that their alien allies had dismissed as obsolete. The humans had built their vessels not for speed or elegance, but for endurance. Every component was designed to channel and store energy, even enemy fire. "Weapon charged, Captain," reported the human weapons officer, a young woman named Carter. Fire, Blake commanded. The UES Persistence unleashed a beam of concentrated energy that had been building for the past 15 minutes. It was not just their own power, but the accumulated energy from every Dominion weapon that had struck their hull. The beam lanced across space and struck the lead Dominion dreadnought, piercing its armor and core systems in a single devastating blow. The enemy flagship exploded in a brilliant flash, its destruction sending shockwaves through the Dominion fleet. The remaining enemy ships, suddenly faced with a threat they didn't understand, began to withdraw. "Impossible," Vex whispered, watching the tactical display in amazement. "How did they do that?" Blake's voice came through the communication channel, tired but triumphant. "Sometimes, Admiral, being slow has its advantages. We had time to study their weapons while they were shooting at us. Our engineers figured out how to turn their own energy against them. The human ship's hull glowed with residual energy, its scarred exterior now bearing the marks of victory. The other Council vessels began to regroup, their crews looking at the UES Persistence with new respect. In the aftermath of the battle, Vex stood in his ready room, reviewing the tactical reports. The humans had saved the entire fleet with their unconventional approach. Their ship, which had been the subject of jokes and ridicule, had proven that sometimes the best weapon was not the fastest or the most advanced, but the most adaptable. Door chimed, and Blake entered, still wearing his battle-worn uniform. The human captain looked tired but satisfied. "Admiral," Blake said, "we've completed our damage assessment. The Persistence is ready for the next engagement." Vex nodded slowly. "Captain, I owe you an apology. We underestimated your capabilities." Blake smiled. "That's all right, sir. We're used to it. Humans have always been the underdogs. It's taught us to be creative." As the fleet prepared for the journey home, the UESAR Persistence took its place not at the rear of the formation, but at the front, leading the way through the stars.